Hey team, this is Hard Work Pays Off coach Sam Petrich. Today we are going to talk about some tips for the Ski Erg. I know that we've been implementing the Ski Erg a bunch, and there's been a lot of questions on damper settings, stroke rates, all the good stuff. So I just thought I would take some time to break down, where your hands should go, foot placements, and all that kind of stuff for the Ski Erg today. So there's a bunch of little different tips and tricks, but I'm going to start off with the handles. For those of you that don't know, on the handles, you want to make sure the meatier part of your hand is against the wider part of the handle. Okay, so some people will just grab it like this. We want to make sure that we're getting the big part of the handle on the outside, or the meat part of our hand where it connects into our wrist. Okay. And then from there, we want to keep our hands, we're trying to stay at a 90-degree angle, okay? So a lot of people, as they come down, they tend to squat down, right? We want to make sure that when we come here, we're actually engaging our abs first. It's going to create the tight tension on the handles that we need to then pull or push down. Actually, you should be thinking push down. As we go to push down, that's automatically going to make the handles go down and create the tension that we need on the handles, okay? So again, we'll talk a bit more about foot placement and where to put that, but for right now, I just wanted you to understand how to put your hands and how when we're in this position, right, that's where we want the handles to be, in the 90 degrees, right? So as we come down, we're going to push, and as I come down, you'll see that I'm trying to get my shoulders to actually go over the handles, and then I'm going to come down to my pockets, okay? And then as I come up, it's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna come up. Some people will come up onto their toes, but you don't wanna pass your natural position, okay? I don't wanna be getting like super long and then coming all the way down and squatting down, okay? What we wanna make sure that we do is that we're staying tight so that when I come down and I get those quick motions, I'm in the right position that I need to be in. But before we get too deep into that, I am going to talk about the right distance away from the flywheel, okay? So for the flywheel, what you can do, it should be between 18 to 24 inches. I don't carry around a tape measure with me. You guys probably don't either. So basically what you can do is you'll just go 1 foot, 2, and then in the arch of your foot, that's where you're going to put your other foot, and then you want to be about hip width apart. This is, for me, is a good position. I kind of try and push my feet against the rails, basically, when I ski, right? So that's the distance that you want to be. Everybody's bodies are different. The distance is going to probably be different. Just find something that feels good for you, okay? So again, in that position, I'm going to get the handles. I'm going to start here. I'm going to pull to my pockets, come back up. Pockets, come back up. You're going to naturally, more than likely, come up onto your toes. It's just a natural thing. I'm not actually trying to jump up and grab. And then you'll notice I'm not coming down and squatting down. The power on the tension and the handles should come from this part, from the top quarter. You don't want it to come from the squat, okay? Unlike rowing, right, our shoulder joints aren't as strong as our legs, right? So we don't want to do these big, massive pulls around the Michael Phelps, come around, okay? We want to try and stay tight and short because that's going to be the most energy efficient way to keep moving, okay? Again, something to talk about is your stroke rate for something like this, right? So your stroke rate should be between 40 to 60, and a lot of people tend to try and think about it as rowing, just comparable to rowing, which it kind of is. But again, our shoulders aren't as strong as our legs are going to be, so you're actually going to want a higher stroke rate, so between 40 to 60, and you want to keep your damper between 2 and 6, right? So we're looking for a quicker turnover rate and to just keep moving on the Ski Erg, whereas compared to a rower, we're trying to push and get as much power out of it as you can. On something like this, we're just trying to find that quick, steady pace, and that's how you're going to use that stroke rate to your advantage. Yeah, and that's kind of basically it as far as the Ski Erg. Again, guys, make sure that you're using that, you're really thinking about pushing down with your core as you're bringing the handles through to your hips. You're not trying to go into a tricep extension, okay? You're just coming down to your hips or to your pockets, and then coming back up, staying in that 90, and then I'm gonna come back down. And then also with your head placement, you're trying to look straight forward. I kind of tend to look at the screen, but we don't want our heads like super high or anything like that. Again, we're all about efficiency, right? So try and make sure your head stays in a good position. And then as you come down, you're trying to get your shoulders over your hands and then coming to your finished position and then coming back up. Don't squat too low and then don't overextend yourself, okay? So these are just a little bit of tips and tricks on the Ski Erg. I hope you guys find them helpful. Make sure that you guys share all these tips and tricks and save them and let me know what you think.